What's up, YouTube? It's your brother Blind Frank back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about a Karen starts an argument with her neighbor. Alright, so this happened not too long ago, but new Karen in the neighborhood, not in my neighborhood, but someone else's neighborhood, but new Karen in the new neighborhood, my bad, yo, but a Karen in the new neighborhood, you know, arrives. She arrives there, and the neighborhood isn't really that like noisy or nothing like that. Everything's peaceful, quiet, not really much problems there, stuff like that. And they and she's in the process of just moving in and stuff like that. So you know instead of just going about moving in, just regularly, not causing any problems, she for some reason like sends out papers to the whole neighborhood, letting them know that she what times or some shit like that, that she doesn't want them to make any noise, because of something they have to do at a specific time. She's basically just giving them papers telling them what they can't do at certain times, which is just kind of stupid. Like, woman, you aren't the fucking landlord or like the owner of this damn neighborhood, so you really can't tell them to do anything. So so we're just gonna get the names of the characters, not the characters, the people of them. So there's one neighbor who's fit like 50 years old. We're just gonna call him Dan, and we have his neighbor who's like really like left house of him. Call him like Jacob or something like that. All right. So Jacob, who's been in this neighborhood for like a year now, who's been living in the neighborhood for like a year now, you know, realizes that the house that Karen moving in to was bought like very quickly, so he ends up trying to figure out who is the new neighbor, what new neighbor looks like. So since he's curious, you know, he goes outside, do some normal walks and shit, and he ends up finding out that his new neighbor is a Karen. So, since he figures out that his new neighbor is a Karen, then realizes that she is going to probably start and have problems with some of the neighbors in the neighborhood. And which is not really that good. Nobody really likes problems in the neighborhood and stuff like that, especially like a quiet one and a peaceful one. So he ends up going back inside, you know, and the next day or the next couple of days go by, and first problem pops up, which is the only problem I'll probably discuss in this video, but moving on. So first problem pops up where Jacob is just in his kitchen just getting coffee, and he ends up hearing people arguing or talking loud and stuff like that. So, he basically tries to hear what's going on. He's basically not really eavesdropping, but still, he's just trying to hear what's going on, the whole conversation. And it is Karen and Dan over here arguing about. Wait, oh, I forgot to tell y'all what Dan does. All right, so which is important to the story. But so Dan, you know, like I said, he's 50 years old. He owns his own business, and he car he drives to go to work in is a Dodge Charger. No, not Charger. Challenger, but a Hellcat. He has a Hellcat, bro. So everyone knows that Hellcats are like power horse engine cars or some shit like that. Sound very, not very loud or too loud, but they just are somewhat loud whenever you just start to crank it up and get ready to drive off and stuff like that. So Jacob already knew that that was probably going to be a problem, you know, in the future of the Karen being in the neighborhood. But luckily, Dan, who drives the Hellcat to his job or whatever, you know, leaves to go to work like at 10:30 a.m. So it shouldn't really be that much of a problem, since like majority of the people in the neighborhood are already awake. So he wouldn't really be disturbing anyone, and everybody's probably gotten used to it except Karen. So yeah, so yeah, Dan's trying to leave to go to work, you know, and Karen goes outside to go stop him, and start an argument about how the car is too loud, basically, right? Which makes no sense, you know. So yes, they end up arguing. Jacob's trying to figure out what's going on, and starts to get louder. So Jacob ends up coming outside to go, kind of stop them a little bit. So he ends up saying some stuff that makes Dan think that Jacob's on his side, and Karen ends up trying to thinks that Jacob's on her side, but he's not. So he ends up trying to clear the fact that he's on Dan's side. So he just says like, what did he say again? So yeah, Jacob ends up saying to Karen and Dan that you know the car, I mean Dan's car starting up and the noise doesn't really bother him that much, and plus he's usually gone early, so and that kind of tips her off and stuff, making her get mad to the point where you know how Karens be, bro. They just get mad for literally the smallest things. So what she ends up doing is just going to the other side of Dan's car because Dan is inside of his car while this is going on. Just like I said, because he was trying to leave. So she ends up going around to his car and she hits on it one time. And while she was arguing at first, both Dan and Jake, just laughing at her because she just kept fucking getting mad and stuff like that and yelling. Basically, they weren't taking her, that serious, so she just gets mad to the point where she just hits on the car once, and they're just like, whoa, chill out now, hold on, Karen. You know, then she hits it again to the point where you can actually hear like a dent noise, but it wasn't a dent that appeared. You could just hear like the actual metal noise being hit. So she keeps hitting it and hitting it, and as soon as Dan gets out of his car, she starts acting so scared, acting like Dan is gonna come over there. Here, she's like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no! You're gonna come out, getting out of the car to hit me, getting out of the car to hit me." And Dan was like, "Whoa, now, Karen, I'm not coming to hit you. I'm just trying to get you to stop hitting my car. You just hit my car for no reason." So then she just like, I'm going back inside. And she's going to leave, and she was like, I'm going back inside and get my husband. He was just like, sure, go on, leave, Karen. So after that, he ends up telling Jacob, dude, I gotta go to work and stuff like that. And then Jacobs was just like, dude, I'm gonna just handle it with Karen and stuff like that. So Dan ends up leaving to go to work and stuff like that. And like 30 minutes later, after Jacob goes back inside of his house, 30 minutes later, was it Karen ends up coming back trying to act all nice and stuff like that, just talking to him and just not she wasn't really apologizing or nothing like that though, but just talking to him and saying how he was wrong, I guess. You know, you know, everything all that ends because that's not really that important, but you know. So an hour later, after she leaves, her husband ends up coming over there, trying to figure out what's going on. So Jacob just ends up giving him the rundown of what happened and what Karen did, and but Jake, well, yeah, he ends up telling her Karen's husband rundown and stuff like that. He ends up just apologizing for her actions, even though she should have done it for herself when she went over there, because they had, they went through that type of stuff before in older neighborhoods and stuff like that, and they're basically agreeing of how they like both. They're just basically telling each other how this type of stuff, like neighbors having problems and stuff like that, in their old, from the past and their other neighborhoods and stuff like that. And so basically, just squash the beef, I guess, with Karen. But yeah, that's probably the end of the video right here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We made it 12 subscribers by the end of May. I will see y'all soon. Peace.